Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day, we're the Traders, thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Warnie, coach of the Warn Dogs, and this is Calvin.
Coach of King Mighty Calvin Eaton.
And about a little bit too up and about for my liking, considering you've actually nailed these bye rounds. They are over. Round 15 is over.
They are. And what have I been calling myself through the bye rounds, Warren?
Well, the bye expert.
The bye expert.
Which has had a lot of challenges put to it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially over every other year, which this is probably the first year you've actually improved.
I've approached it in a very different manner this year.
Trying to make your team better.
Well, yeah, and I actually feel like I've done more straight swapping than ever before.
I know, that's the thing. But you haven't really come out that badly.
No, I don't think so.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
we will.
Round 15, it was the last of the bye rounds. I'm hoping the byes can change a bit next year. I don't want 4 weeks like this. You probably do now.
I want all rounds to be bye rounds. Just only 18 players, 3 trades.
And best 18
yes.
would be right up
That's
your
my
alley.
kind of game, dog.
Anyway,
that's my kind of game.
Means that we've got 9 weeks to go.
Oh, yes, okay.
It is heating up. We've got a big show with all the help that you hopefully need to get you through for the last 9 rounds, because we want to pick players that will be good from here on.
And that's it. My quest for the car begins today.
Right.
So,
how many points away are you?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
But
you probably need an extra 3 rounds.
Yeah, we do. But I'm making a surge. It
has been a big buy period. Now, Calvin, speaking of, last week we had a chat with Tom Duday.
Yes.
Did you take on his advice to watch some movies?
I did.
Yeah, what did you watch?
I watched, is it No Country
for Old Men?
Yeah, I watched that one.
What'd you rate it?
I was a little bit confused at the end, to be honest.
Yes,
and then when it finished, I was like, is this a reflection on me? Like, have I missed something here? But that was very good.
What about his other Oscar-winning movie, Parasite? I watched that. I hadn't watched that, and I watched that this week.
I looked into it, and then I realised you have to read it.
That's good.
You read it.
I know that would be a novelty for you to do.
You might as well go get the book. Is there a book for it?
Probably. I don't know. But there was good pictures.
Yeah, okay.
It was great.
So you sat through the subtitles and
fantastic.
And you read it.
Definitely worth watching.
Reading, right.
And reading. And all of that. Probably better than the SK Warren movie.
Well, yeah, I watched a little bit of that last night.
How'd you go?
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
No, right. Let's get into talking about... It's not the movie review show.
No, it's not.
Although that would be great content, I'm sure.
Well,
it's better than talking about my fantasy team.
That's right. Let's talk about it then.
All right. 2022.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, awful.
Did you even try?
No. I didn't. Actually, the thing is, my buy rounds were bad. We'll talk about that in a moment. But 2022, it did move me up from last week, so I must have been okay for where my position was. Yeah, that's probably all I need to say. At least I'm not the worst of the three of us. Roy, he's not here, but he did.
Well,
I was 100 points out of him.
Well, he knew this buy round was going to be the one. He had 18, but I think his 18th guy was like a Chesser.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, he'll come out fit and firing here, though. So,
right, what did you score? King buy round, Calvinator?
No, just buy expert. 21.43.
Wow.
And there was a time, dog, I was like, probably going to win the week.
Well, you did think that.
I did. I thought I was going to win. But I got let down by a couple of blokes in the latter stages of the round.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
Well, this wasn't in the latter stages of the round. It was the second last game. You weren't let down by this guy.
No, Jordan Dawson.
Wow.
He had 172. He had 73 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
73 points.
He's just so good.
And people were like, hey, Cal, should have made him captain. Well, you know what, dog? He was number 6 on the list. So we'll talk about captains like number 6 on the list.
So he's worth over $1 million now. And yeah.
Good luck trying to get him now. He's just so dear.
Totally Dawson, Calvin.
He was good.
Now, the thing about him, I think I will not get him now. No. I don't think I can get him.
No.
The only way he would probably come into my side is via a big premium going down.
Yes.
That's probably the only way.
Which was how I got him, really. Like, the sick dog, bless his cotton socks.
What an upgrade.
Bless him. But, so... But you have a look at Dawson's numbers across the year.
He's been good.
They are unbelievable. And, of course, that's a big one there. But the rest, they're really...
They're all big ones. Like, couple of weeks ago, 128, 135. Just a heap over 110.
Yep.
And that, especially considering it was a little bit of a slower start to the season, 92, 101, 81.
Yep.
And then has just gone bang.
Guess who he plays in the last game of the round?
Oh, they've got the Eagles.
The last game of the year.
Yep.
They got the Eagles.
Yes.
It's a big grand final. Captain score coming on. Don't jump too far ahead, dog.
Sub him off and rest him.
But, I'm always looking at captains multiple weeks ahead.
Right.
So I'm just flagging that as a little one
Should be
now.
using some different colours for that. Oh, no. You've just got one colour.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you reckon you'll get another coloured pen at some point?
Only if you get me one, dog. I told you.
I might go to Office Works later.
Well, but I don't need it. That's the thing.
Oh,
we'll get to captains later.
Don't do that. All right, my +3 for this week.
Have you got one?
Well, I do, and
Right.
I'd like to thank you for it.
Oh, okay.
Brad Crouch.
My boy.
I
told
talked him
you.
up all last week.
I told you.
Said every answer will be Brad Crouch.
Every answer will be Brad Crouch.
And he was a good answer. 116, so
Yep.
a good score. Like I'm not, it's not a 172 from Dawson.
But
it was nice to actually get one.
who does he play this week?
And that is what swayed me with the decision
Yep.
at the end of the day.
Scale of Hardness.
The Scale of Hardness. I might talk Scale of Hardness a little bit later.
Okay.
He's just got a good run coming up.
It's an amazing
and so
run.
he got away with a nice 116 there, and then hopefully goes into and can do some big stuff for that massive matchup against the Eagles, who they'll bounce back now this week.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Buy rounds.
I know.
They can get my -3 because they make you make stupid decisions.
Okay.
Awful decisions.
I know who you're thinking about.
This is going to Matt Rowell.
Not even Rowell. More of a meow.
It's like I'd strangle that Rowell cat. It was awful. So he scored 68.
Okay.
Which is a poor score by anyone's standard. I had a lot of rookies that did better than that. I had...
Dawson got that in a quarter, mate.
Oh, wow.
He got that in a quarter.
So, yeah, just a 20-touch game. Like, it was just awful.
It was.
It was no good. Anyway, but the worst part about that is, why did I get him? For the buys.
Yeah.
Because they had that good buy. The weeks that I've had him... So, I picked him up because he'd come off a 124,
Yep.
a 90 and a 142. I thought, yeah.
There's a ton.
Yeah, Matt Rowell.
Yep.
That's what you're about. And, yeah.
He averaged 74.
He
for
scored
us.
73, 80 and 68 for us over the buys.
Not good.
The other players that could have been...
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, golly,
Well,
gosh.
my guy is very similar to that. My guy scored a 61, which is even worse. And we're talking about Hayden Young, who
Yes.
I bought in because, hey, over the bye period, you need these guys playing. I nearly lost his score.
You were hot on him, though. He was
Well,
the answer.
The thing is, the scale of hardness for them was fantastic.
Yeah.
Look what Luke Ryan did. He had a 143.
Yeah.
He more than doubled him with his 18 marks. So a couple of weeks ago, it was either Luke Ryan or Hayden Young as that guy to bring in.
Yeah.
So the last 3 games, Young goes at 73, which is worse than Rowell, whereas Ryan goes at 101. Wow. There's the one that got away, dog.
That's where you should have gone.
And one's gone up in money, one's lost money. But, yeah, he's on the chopping block. He's on the chopping block.
Right. Let's talk about the buys then.
All right.
Sheldrick.
Oh, how good were
One
those?
of the best.
Yep.
He was very good. Johnson as well. They were magnificent. But let's talk captains. So Friday night.
Okay. Captains.
Friday night
Yep.
V8.
Yep.
You had the plan. You had Laird at number 1.
Correct.
Dunkley at 2.
Correct.
And that was pretty much what a typical VC into C
Yep.
strategy was going to be. It was
100%.
basically going to go, yep, I'll go Dunkley on Friday night as my VC, take
Yep.
that score. If it's no good,
Yep.
I'd go with Laird.
Okay.
So, Friday night,
Yep.
pre-game,
Yeah.
I sent you a message, Cal.
You did.
There could be an issue.
Well, they
Basically.
talked about putting a tag on Josh Dunkley.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the best players in the comp, blah, 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 right? That got my pirate senses tingling. Okay.
Lost Lion.
Right? And I was like, I can't have this. Because, to be honest, Gulden and Dunkley, for me, I had trouble splitting at 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So when I heard this, I was like, oh, abort, get out of here, right? So I switched them. Now, Dunkley comes out and has 120.
How did you feel at that point?
Yeah, not overly great. You were quite smug about it,
No,
though.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
Hang on. How can you read into that? I said a good call.
No, you were very, very rude about it. Anyway, but then my boy,
Then you were...
and then Gulden comes out and has a day, a massive 145.
And so you took that as your VC.
So I obviously took that.
So how many more points did you get than
See,
me?
here we go.
Okay, so
Right.
I got 120 doubled.
That's correct.
You got 145 doubled.
That's correct.
So does that mean that you got 50 more points than me?
No, it doesn't. Right? I only got 25 points more. Now,
So we're back to this.
yes, because people out there are going, no, that's 50 points more.
Okay, the math's in it.
Right, please
Calvinator.
explain it. Go.
120 plus 120
240.
plus 145.
What was that to? 243, 85.
Okay, 385.
Okay.
So that's what I got because I went that as my
Yep.
VC in
Yep.
Dunkley. You went 145 plus 145,
Yep. 290,
290 plus the 120 because you've got Dunkley,
410.
410. So how many?
25 points different,
So
yeah.
it's not the 50 points.
I
Got to remember that.
I thought we'd move past this.
Yeah, there's always new people out there.
Yeah,
though.
but maths is still a pretty common concept, dog. It's not like we've created it.
All right, now the bye rounds, let's look at what happened to us. So, you were the king.
I wouldn't
You went
say
from
king.
17,000
17,000.
252nd into 10,618. So you've moved up a good, what's that?
There were,
Near 7,000 spots.
yeah, there was a time on the weekend where I was into 8,000.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I
would have
was
been
like,
nice to have cracked the 10.
I know. Anyway, so Roy slipped. He was at 1,600 and went out to 3,400-ish.
Yeah, I slipped as well. So I went from 11,300, so 11,300 to 13,045.
Here's the other part where
But I
Matt-
was outside the 14K
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks. So
as far as maths is concerned, not everybody can improve.
no.
No, not everybody
No.
can get better. So
So
think about that as well.
what do you call improvement then as well? Obviously, it would be nice if your ranking's moving up if you're there, but if your team's bad like mine, it didn't move where I wanted it to. It's about what your team comes out looking
100%
like.
it is.
So you said you sideways traded a bit.
A
Any
bit.
of those that you kind of regret? Like, are there some players that you traded that you would like to still have in your team?
A couple of players I did that I didn't really like to do was like a Cornelio to a Darcy Cameron.
Yeah, so you went a Cornelio out.
Yeah.
Sheasel went as well for you, didn't you?
Sheasel went out as well, and that might have been...
Because you were heavy in the round 15 buys.
Yeah, I tried to make a few adjustments for it. So there are a few guys like that I didn't...
Even Hobbsy?
Hobbsy lived.
Oh, no, you
I went
Will
Day.
Day out.
Will Day.
Yeah.
And that might have been a Will Day for a Hayden Young. Yeah. So there's a couple of moves there that obviously didn't work out for me, but...
So what that does, though, is puts your team, because you were sideways trading premiums,
Yep.
how many rookies do you have on field? What's that look like now?
Okay, so I still have 2.
Right.
So that'll be Johnson and, let's go, Sheldrick. Mm-hmm. And on the bench, I've still got Windhager and Wardlaw.
Okay.
So I've still got them.
So there's a bit of a rotation policy at Team
Well,
Calvinator.
yeah, they're all still there, and a couple of them are going up in quite a good coin at the moment. So I was actually hoping to have no rookies on field.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's
Well,
our
if you
goal.
did sideways trade those premiums.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to do it. We got Sheldrick here scoring 111.
Yeah.
We've got Johnson going at 99.
Yeah.
Now, that's not going to be every week. We get that. But if they could be 60s for me.
I'm in a similar position as you with that then. I've got Johnson and Sheldrick currently on my field at the moment, but I've also got Ashcroft.
Okay.
So I'll be able to sort of play a little bit of loop action with those guys. Ashcroft plays first game, I think, this week. So
Correct.
If he goes all right. I've also got Windhager there on the bench too.
Yep.
But you'll be able to probably play a little bit of a rotation game with those guys. I guess the other question is, with that, who else would you like to be upgrading in your team? Who are the other ones, apart from those rookies, that are the ones that are your deadest of weights?
Okay, so your Rowell.
Oh, so you still got him. He's going this week
Rowell,
for me.
Young, and then maybe Hobbsy, although he was great again. So
Yeah,
they're the sort of the...
Although you did pick up Elliot Yo.
Yo, hold my boy.
You did.
Have you got an Elliot Yo fridge magnet?
No.
I do.
That's awesome.
I've got one.
Should get it signed by him.
Well, I will one day. He's my boy. So, yeah. A guy like that, yeah. So they're filling holes at the moment, but
And
there's a couple of them getting the job done.
Then the other question, how's your bench looking?
Oh, it's rotted.
Has it?
Yeah, and now
What are you down to then?
there's a lot of dead weight on my bench.
Yep.
And I don't mind that.
How
That's
many red
okay.
dot rookies have you got?
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count Chesser at number 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. I'm 4
Okay.
as well. But, yeah, that's a couple of guys there that may not see the light of day again.
No.
Mullen, Fleeton.
Oh, yeah, no, there.
McAndrew always was.
Yep.
Drury. Oh, Kyle Lohman, he's going to be added to that list as well, I reckon.
Yep.
Not pretty.
Not good.
Not pretty, but, and cash generation for us, Cal, is probably still important there on the bench. The bench is important for an emergency. That's a good thing to have, but also, if we want to improve some of these players as well, we're going to have to try to do that. Even and that's
Agreed.
that's where the story of my buy round was. I didn't do any sideways trading. I did get rid of guys that were either rookies or the mid prices. So across the weeks, getting rid of guys like my James Warple, for example.
Yep.
All of those types of players were the ones that I moved, which is
And that's why a guy like an Elliot Yeo is still a good play, because he's so cheap. You could go, if you went a Hayden Young down to him, you make yourself about 100K. They're going to be much for muchness, but that's the way to create a bit of cash.
Cash Cow of the Year, the votes for round 15. And we start with Angus Sheldrick. He gets the 5 votes as the buy round specialist, like you, Calvin.
There he is.
Scores of 79, 82, and then his 111 on the weekend has made him the Cash Cow of the buys. What a legend.
Yeah, Matthew Johnson as well. They're bouncing back after last week. He was at his tackling best. He got the 4 votes. He even kicked a snag for his 99.
Seamus Mitchell, he scored a 91 in the last game of the round to claim the 3 votes. He's been a great pick for the 12% of coaches who have him.
He's been good. Will Ashcroft had an 80. His price has peaked just before his buy. He's been a solid contributor with another 80 and 2 votes.
And Darcy Wilmot gets his first vote for the year, which is a bit surprising, actually.
It is.
He took 9 marks and shows plenty of dash on his way to 75. Now, Sheasel is, of course, still sitting on the top of the leaderboard, but we saw our buy man.
Yeah.
Sheldrick shoot up into the top 5 after polling in each of his buy round matches.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
A little bit of news out of the weekend. Not too much, actually, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
We don't have too many worries coming
Well,
into this
no
week.
news is good news sometimes,
Can
Warnie.
be.
Yeah.
So Jeremy Cameron started the round off in a devastating way. So -3 was concussed there. So
Yeah, not ideal.
that is definitely not ideal. So I guess we'll see him be out, obviously, this week.
Yep.
That is one thing there. And there's been a few people that have actually had some dramas with that. Pretty awful start to the weekend. I did see a captain there.
A what?
So that's cool. So I did get an email from Royd, actually, and said...
Is that our bigger friend?
in our draft fantasy league, Fantasy for the People, PE pool, because the PE teachers, there you go.
Well done.
And Michael, the coach of Pigs, had Cameron as his captain for the round. He scored -3, left the ground, and his captain went from a -3 to a -6 because, following on from that captain discussion, you still multiply a negative.
You certainly do,
Gets
Dom.
you to a -6. So.
Now, the good thing about this as well, draft leagues are going to start firing back up again. Because I know
Yes.
a lot of people were on a break for that. So I know my mates at school are very keen to get that back. Now, Jeremy Cameron, break even of 149. Is there a time, Dog, when you consider...
It's going to be cheap.
He went down 83,000 this week.
There is.
Of course
There could
there
be.
is.
If you're rocking that rookie there,
Yeah.
your F6 cow,
Yeah,
you could be doing worse than having a Jezza Cameron.
too right.
Yeah. Another one there, our mate Paul over in Perth. He said his son picked him up 2 weeks ago. He scored 32 and -3 for an average of 14.5.
Oh, dear. Not good.
That's a disaster. Not cool. All right, other news. Callum Mills played his first game back. They subbed him out.
Okay.
A tactical sub, which is fair enough.
Yep.
He was going along at a decent little rate there, wasn't he?
He was at
there,
64,
so-
64 and 55% game time.
Yep. Did you see enough?
I think we've seen enough.
Yep.
The question is, did they see enough? Like, are they going to give him
yeah.
another vest? I think as soon as we see one full game from him,
Is that what you need?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, well, the
We're-
thing
we're
is,
on.
he's still going down
yes.
in value. So if you don't need to get that midfielder this week. You
No.
can
So he
save and hold that for
So
next
he
week.
dropped 56k this week, down 300k from his starting
So looking
price.
at your team, Calvinator, you've got a George Wardlaw floating there on your bench.
Yep.
It's not going to be much for him up to...
No, not at all. Though
Mills
I have
next
different
week.
plans for old Wardlaw this week, dog.
do you?
So Mills still has a break even of 132.
Yeah. But you could go this week.
Too right, you could.
I think that is a possibility.
I think I need to see one.
Yeah. Matt Johnson, now, he had a corky late in the game. It pretty much happened last week as well,
Yeah.
I think. He was subbed out last week. So this week, it's all good, though. I think the way that Long Muir said that he's a tough little bugger.
He plays better with a corky.
Yeah, he's a little hard nut, I think. He's good. Now, old mate Jack Williams, West Coast Eagles, the ruck forward at 200k.
Yes.
He hurt his ankle on 10 points.
Oh, no.
Now, that's backing up. That's his second game of footy. Last year,
no.
he played a game for 1 point.
Oh.
62% time on ground in that, just quietly as well.
Okay. Maybe Jack isn't a fantasy target for us at the moment. His scoring output may be a little down.
This is sometimes where we would like the prices to actually go below 200k, because that would actually help my team.
Wouldn't it ever?
I'd be quite happy to throw that bench
Imagine if he
spot
gets
on him.
down to, like, he's just free.
There you
Doesn't
go.
cost you
Costs you your
anything.
trade, but no, you get him for nothing.
We should look into that.
Well, that's pretty much all the news we're going to
that's
talk
good.
about. We're
That's
back
good
to
news.
normal, though. That's the other thing to know. The bye rounds are over. We've got 9 weeks to go. The one part of that, if you haven't done it yet, sub all those bye players back on the ground. And
this is your opportunity to order them by price.
yeah, so if you get on the desktop side, it's
Okay.
the easiest way to do it. Click and drag.
Yeah, just move them around, get them in order of price, or at least your favourites.
Okay. So
I don't want to see...
You can go price. What you could go average if you like.
You could go average.
You could also go priority of, like, even just selection. So
Yes.
I'm picking you first.
Yeah.
And even if someone is worth more money,
I don't want to see a
could be-
screenshot where Sheldrick is sitting in M1.
might give him some confidence.
But
though.
there's another part of it. But I just think, just get it back to normal. Get it back to normal.
Try your best with that.
This month, all kids 14 and under get to go to the footy for free.
Look, a tiger.
Selfies and screamers.
That looks tasty.
And you never know who you'll meet.
Oh, so fluffy.
Kids go free round 16 to 19.
Awesome. See you there.
All right, let's have a look at what we've got for this week. Your aim now. We've got 9 weeks to go. What have you done? Hurt yourself?
Oh, I've got like something bit me on the back of the hand. Any doctors out there? Come and have a look. Don't know what it is. Anyway,
Right. We've got 9 weeks to go.
9 weeks to go.
And what our team should be looking like, apart from ours, is hopefully no rookies on field.
Yep.
And what you're trying to do, you might have a couple like us anyway.
Yep.
What you're trying to do is having the best team that you can for the next 9 weeks. Now, some of that will include a bit of sideways trading. So now it's okay to sideways trade, Cal.
Of course it is.
Because you've pretty much got premiums.
Oh,
Hopefully.
yeah. Well, that's
Or players
the,
that you
and,
like.
and
a
if a
lot.
player goes down, it's just you're looking for a little bit of value and then pick something else up.
So some of that as well with what we'd be doing. Like we might hold those rookies for a little bit longer and then upgrade those lower end premiums or the mid prices that we might still have.
I
there
think
that are doing
so.
their job and being all right.
Well, that's it. A guy like Hobbsy,
Yeah.
he can live. You know,
Yeah.
that's fine because we've got these rookies at the moment, like a Sheldrick with a break even of minus 39.
Yeah, yep.
So what do you go up? 95k?
He's so good.
So you don't want to be moving these guys on you. They're creating bulk cash for you.
Yep.
So
I think we can get a little bit lost in the fact that he could bust out a poor score this week.
Of course he could.
And they've got Geelong, so that's an issue. But
Yep.
I don't know. There's something in that I think there is a. That's something. Don't get too comfortable with who you've got, because I had Bailey Humphrey there thinking he will hold down a F6 spot for me,
Yeah.
and he had a 30.
Yeah.
And that was lucky to get to 30. So, yeah, that's something you do need to be warned about. But while we try to pick the best players, we want to try to find the guys that might be in what we call a rolling 22.
Hey!
Now, could you give, after this, a definition of the rolling 22? Right. So, this is usually Roy's baby,
Oh, yeah.
but we thought we would
We'll have a go.
have a go and add
Yeah.
our own bit of thoughts and even some actual criteria to it in
Well,
picking it.
I don't know if it needs criteria. It never has before. So the thing is, your rolling 22 is basically the players you want to end the season with, who we think are going to be the highest averaging players, but at the same time, players that we also think are going to play up the next 9 games.
Yeah, so it is like, basically this is your ultimate 22. If we were to put it down there, we would think that this 22 will score the most points for the next 9 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We always hear people talk about your top 6 defenders, your top 8 mids. It's where we want to be. Now, we'll have a discussion as we go through these as well, but it'd be nice to aim towards this.
Yeah, and in a way, like the rolling 22 does also have the criteria of the 2 S's.
Does it?
Safety, ceiling. So that comes into it as well.
Right, let's get going then. So we've got our 4 positions done.
Okay.
And we'll take it in turns. Cal, you're going to release, like reveal, like it's going to be this big secret. Tell us your defenders in order, and then I'll let you know.
You tell me how many I got right. Dawson, Doherty, Dacos, Sicily, Sinclair, Daniel.
Wow.
How did I go?
Not too bad. You've got a guy in there that I have got in the mix.
So Stewart's in the mix for me.
Yep.
Who have you got?
I've got Stewart in there. So I've gone...
Ahead of who?
I've gone Dawson.
Yep.
Dacos. So
okay.
I've got Dacos.
Yep. I don't mind that.
Then Sinclair. Then Doherty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why do you hate Doherty so much?
No, it's just throwing a blanket over those guys. No, because I've taken a bit of the scale of hardness into account here too.
Right, okay.
So that's why Sinclair
How
gets
you
up there a little bit for me.
Sneak onto my computer and have a look at it.
I've actually got Tom Stewart at number 5 because of his games that he's got left at GMHBA Stadium.
Right.
And I think that will keep him in the top bracket. And I've got Caleb Daniel at 6 because I just cannot put Sick Dog there. He's missing the next couple.
Okay.
If you're talking about the points that they're going to score...
What's Sicily averaging this year, Dog?
A lot.
What do you think?
Way too many.
107.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's the
he
dog.
should be. If he was playing this week, he'd be in there.
Okay.
But he's not playing for the next 2 weeks.
All right. No, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I reckon, so we're pretty close. We're pretty similar there.
Now, I've got the in the mix. So you had Tom Stewart there.
I had Tom
so
Stewart.
basically our 7's the same.
Yeah.
Any other in the mixes? I've got Sheasel there.
No.
And Will Day.
I'm happy for Will Day.
Because I think they could be close to 100.
Yeah.
Which is then in that. Like, this is the thing about the defenders. I feel like there's that little bit of a blanket you can throw over those last couple.
Yeah, I'm with
So,
that.
like, I've got a Will Day in my team. Oh, so you don't like Will Day there.
Hey, but then
because
again,
you don't have him.
okay.
But I'm not trading out a Will Day.
Here's the message, right? So over the buy round, you get 3 trades a week.
Yes.
And let's be honest, we're a little bit careless at
Frivolous.
times. Just throwing them around. So these guys we got out of our team, like a Will Day, like a Cornelio for me, they can come back.
Yeah.
And it's something that it feels a little bit dirty doing.
I know. I can't do that. My ego doesn't let me do that.
Yeah, but that's something you've got a big ego, so that's definitely not happening. But I just think that those guys come back. Will Day in the mix, I'm happy with that. I would have him ahead of Sheasel.
Right.
All right.
Okay, let's go
mids.
with the midfielders. I just actually made a change there because I remembered I was going to move that one.
Okay.
All right, midfielders. Number 1, Andy Brayshaw.
Okay.
Rory Laird at 2. Bont at 3. Oliver 4. Merritt. Tom Green. Brad Crouch. Christian Petrarca.
They're the exact same as my 8, but not in that order.
Okay, give me your order then.
So I went Laird, Oliver, Brayshaw.
Okay.
Okay. And then Bont.
Yeah.
So our top 4 are the same.
Yeah, and that's hard to split all those guys.
Yep.
That's a order, same order.
And then I go the exact same as you. Merritt, Green, Crouch, Petrarca.
Was that just, did you click on average as well?
No. You know, a part of my criteria was looking at Roy's.
Oh, was it?
I used Roy's
Did
as
he
a
do
bit of a
that
guide.
as well?
Now, in the mix,
Yep.
I don't think we can write off Sam Walsh.
No, okay.
I don't think we can write him off yet.
No.
So just keep that one down.
It's just not one that I could launch into.
No. And I'm not
that's
saying
the biggest thing.
Not saying launch, but he could easily, after his bye, come back fresh here and go at 110.
Part of the criteria of the rolling 22 as well is that I feel like these guys you could all pick up this week as well.
Yes.
That's the other side of it.
Yes. And I will be, Dog.
All of them.
I also had Sarong in the mix there as
Has
well.
to be.
And Lockie Neal.
Yeah, and I've got Tom Mitchell there as well.
Ooh.
Well,
I don't mind it.
it's becoming his time.
Yep.
Josh Kelly.
See,
He's the last one in my in the mix list because I couldn't say to someone, go and pick him.
And
I'm happy for you to go and do it.
Yeah.
But that's twice this year I've had him in and traded him out.
he's on a never again list for a lot of people.
He could be in the top 5.
Yep. But he's one of the S's, and that's safety, spelt correctly. So, yeah, 100% agree.
We don't even need to talk about the rucks, I don't think.
We're not talking rucks.
English and Marshall.
100%.
I've got the in the mix there, though. I reckon Toby Nankervis, you can't say.
No, he's got to be in the
been
discussion.
Awesome. But you're not going him over the other guys. But the other side of that, the in the mix, Darcy Cameron and Kieran Briggs.
Yep.
They're not going to knock off the other two. But again, as part of this discussion, is that not even being close enough, but they are doing their job. You don't need to go and get your English or Marshall if you didn't have either of those, if you're rocking with one of those guys at the moment.
Agree.
Yep.
100%.
All right, let's talk forwards, Cal. You're up. This might be very close to being exactly the same as each other.
Well,
has to be.
Okay.
Taranto, Dunkley.
Next one's interesting.
Errol.
I went Butters.
Did ya?
Yeah, I went Butters and Gulden.
Yeah, I've gone the other way around. Yep.
And then I was Rosie Macrae.
Macrae, okay, interesting.
Have you got Darcy Cameron there?
No, because I did. He's in the mix part of that. Yep. I've got Cogs there,
so he's in the mix for me.
See, I've got Cogs at 6. I reckon you've disrespected him. It's because you traded him out.
No. The other part of it is, I think Macrae will average more than Cogs from here on.
Yeah, but that's safety, Cal.
What safety?
Of Macrae.
No, I just think that, So
Bevo is his coach still.
Yeah, but he's still getting it done. Like
Did he get it done last game?
No, he didn't. He had an 83. But he's going at 99, and Cogs is about the same. I think Cogs is like 100. So you can flip him. But I reckon Macrae's last 5-6 games have been better than Cornelio's.
We've talked about those forwards as well a little bit as the big dog forwards who are there. I feel like there's a little bit of a gap for that next group, though.
There is.
Yeah,
like that's it.
Because what was the stat last week? Kept reeling out 10 of the top 13 averaging forwards were
out
on
this
that bye
week.
last week.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's it is a tricky one to be nailing that down past that, I think. So that's, I guess, why we're pretty happy with that 5.
So that's an interesting one because back to the mid, I'm pretty happy with the forwards, right?
Yep.
If you were bringing in a player this week, you're saying that Brayshaw in the midfield is your number one target.
Yeah.
And then you're saying Laird, then Bont, then Oliver. I understand the drop on Oliver.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen him.
Oh, he may not even play this week.
No.
He should. But.
So, can people go early on Oliver this week?
Yeah, but then the other side of it too is a bit of value as well. You might find more value than Oliver this week. But I'm going Brayshaw over Oliver.
This week? Yes, I think you have to, 100%.
And it's for the long term.
Yeah.
We're talking about this for the next 9 weeks.
Yep.
All right. The other part of this thinking is this.
Red, green, table, cow scale of hardness.
Okay.
So tell us about what is the scale of hardness for anyone that might be new to this.
Oh, just had a little tingling in my tummy, dog.
You sound so good at that.
Don't know ever. What is the scale of hardness? Okay, geez, where do you start? The scale of hardness is basically the greatest resource ever created in fantasy history.
Right, greatest.
The greatest. It is a combination of colours, scaling from dark green, light green, red, orange, white. And what it does is...
Had blue there for the buys, though.
Blue for the buys. They're gone.
Now.
They're gone. So basically, teams are scaled and coloured according to what they have been conceding this year and what they have been conceding lately.
Yeah, so you've got a bit that goes into your formula, your criteria.
Yeah, and it's extensive. So let's have a look at it then. We'll start with defenders. Mm-hmm. So the scale was handy last week. I tipped Luke Ryan and Hayden Young to have a bit of a bounce back week. Yep. I was like, they'll have a better week this week than what they've been giving us. I didn't know only one was going to give me the message, heard the message. So for guys like that, so let's have a look. So we've got defenders this week. Well, we won't look at this week. We'll look at coming up. So you got Hawthorn there. Hawthorn have a run of, in the next 6 weeks, they meet 4 easy teams.
Right.
So that's a defender. Sick Dog will be back at some point.
Gets 2 more out.
Yeah, and then his run coming up, so he'll hit a St Kilda and a Collingwood, who are 2 of the easier teams for defenders. So
Anyone that did Jarman Impey.
Jarman Impey, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Will Day when he went back.
And Will Day, he had 50 and a quarter.
Yeah, that's when he went back.
Yeah, so those kind of guys should be fantastic. I don't mind the Bulldogs run home after this Freo game, though. Okay, so this Freo one is Freo are one of the 3 hardest teams to score against for defenders. Then after that...
Andy McGrath says hello.
Oh, does he? Oh, yeah, right. Then after that, they don't meet a hard team for the rest of the year.
Right.
So it's your Caleb Daniels, your Bailey Dales, all those sort of guys.
Mm-hmm.
I also... And the thing is, though, you look at St Kilda and you think of a Jack Sinclair and you're like, well, where is he going to be playing? Because 2 weeks ago, he was back and didn't get a CBA.
Yep.
This week, he was right in the guts. And, of course, who's he got this week? He's got West Coast.
Yeah.
So, I don't...
It doesn't matter where he's playing against West Coast.
The ball... Well, I don't think the ball will get into the other half. So he could just stand down there by himself.
He's not the sort of player that would be standing in the back line.
So as far as defenders go, I like all those. They've got really good matchups. Matchups I don't like. Collingwood have got a really tough run. I don't know who that affects, though, because Dacos just runs around and does...
back in the mid.
He does whatever he wants. So... Now, let's have a look at midfielders.
So, of those teams then, so who are the easiest teams to play against?
So, the easiest teams to play against St Kilda, Essendon and Collingwood.
Right, okay.
Okay, so, and a team like Gold Coast, they make 2 of them in the next 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Midfield.
Let's have a look at midfield.
This is where the majority of the players are probably in our team as well, because our forwards are midfielders.
Okay.
Yep.
I got one man, 2 words.
A lot of names have got 2 words.
2 syllables.
Oh.
Brad Crouch.
Crouch.
Yeah.
Crouch 1 syllable.
It is it.
Crouch.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like elephant. So, Brad Crouch, if you got Brad last week, you got him not only for last week's game, but you've also got him for this West Coast matchup.
Which should be.
Right.
Are they like your dark green? Are they the easiest green?
So there are 4 easy teams to score against. Dark green. North Melbourne, Hawthorn, West Coast, St Kilda.
Right.
So West Coast and St Kilda. St Kilda at the start of the year giving up the most points to midfielders. Mm-hmm. But West Coast obviously now have gone past them. They are the 2 easiest teams. So
the weekend didn't help.
Out of those teams, there's 4 of them. St Kilda's one of them. So cross them off the list. Brad Crouch plays 3 of them in the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
So Sinclair in the middle, Brad Crouch in the middle. Even Jack Steele was back last week. He was at 120 or whatever he had.
Yep.
So those guys have a great run. In 2 weeks' time, Kangaroos also have 3 of the easiest games you'll ever find in a row.
Sheezel.
LDU, if he's back at that point or whatever he's doing with
Simpkin.
himself. Simpkin, but I don't think you're doing that. But you got to also remember that sometimes the scale doesn't apply to everybody.
Yeah.
There are some just midfielders out there who do not give a hoot.
Yeah.
They don't wake up and look at my scale and go, geez, it's going to be tough today, Cal.
Yeah.
They go, bugger the scale, and they can do what they want. So, but if you're looking at a guy with a great run, it's your Sinclair, it's your Crouch.
Yep.
Carlton also have a great run coming up as well. So maybe we might see a little bit of improvement there from Samuel Walsh, maybe, if he gets it together.
Right. Now, rucks, most people are rocking with your English and Marshall combo. But let's have a look there as the rucks. If you're riding with your Briggs or your Cameron, can you hold them for a little while?
Yeah, Briggs has got a great run coming up as well, even though he's got Melbourne this week. But Melbourne, they sort of sit mid-range as far as points.
It's surprising,
it is. So they're sort of mid-range. Darcy Cameron, he's got Jared Witts this week, then into Tim English.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, that sounds scary. But I think Tim English is like gives up the second most points.
Yeah, right.
So he obviously just goes around and does his own thing.
Yep.
And lets his opponent do the same.
Who are some of the easy ones? Is that adjusted a bit? Like, I think Lysett, for example, Port were an easy team.
Yep.
But he's starting to make it harder.
He is. So he's definitely not... He was number 1 easiest there for a while. But Richmond are easy.
Yeah.
So Nankervis wants
just
it.
doing his thing.
Just like what English does.
Yep.
Bulldogs, Sydney are the 3 easiest teams to score against at the moment.
Yeah,
and
right.
the 2 hardest teams are Essendon, and that's when Draper turns up.
Oh, well, Draper was injured this week.
Oh, jeez. How does Sean Darcy
Every week.
Every
He
week.
finds a way.
Just somehow he doesn't have an opponent. And big Oscar McInerney
Yep.
is the second hardest to score against.
Right.
There you go.
Now, we
Can't
don't
go
really
wrong.
look at the forwards because
Well, we don't need
the
forwards
midfielders.
because they should be in the midfield anyway.
is there anyone in your team? No.
The only
you'd call a
forward,
forward?
the only forward you would consider,
Yeah.
and it would be Tex Walker, round 24 against the Eagles. The
That'll
Coleman
be
medal will be up for grabs. He will be
right.
going for 10.
He's had a lot of goals.
He's had a lot. I
In
think
the last
he's
2
leading it.
years, he's had
I
a
think
lot
he's
too.
leading the Coleman. So 10 goals in the last quarter for him will get him over the line.
All right, people have been making their trades around ahead of round 16, and they have gone big with Elijah Hewett. He's the most traded in player. Josh Fay because he's still 200k, and then you've got Elliot Yeo. Marcus Bontempelli is the premium midfielder of choice. Sam Doherty there as well. A couple of others just further down the list. You've got Jack Sinclair, Brad Crouch.
Oh, my boy.
Good for those matchups, I would say.
Too right.
Especially this week as the most traded in. Now, the most traded out so far by round players.
Oh.
Bailey Humphrey's one of them there at the top of the list with Will Ashcroft, George Wardlaw, Rory Atkins, who was a sub on the weekend, Matt Rowell. Yes. Matt Rowell, he's gone.
Too right.
He's one of my traded out players this week. He goes alongside Humphrey, and I get Yo and Cameron. While I'm not going up to a big dog premium, it is just fixing some things.
Yep.
It's... I'm in a bit of trouble.
You're bringing in a couple of players I bought in last week.
I know. That's my problem. I'm a couple of weeks behind.
Keep up, dog. Keep up.
Imagine being behind you.
I know. I'm going Wardlaw to Hewett. I do like your little boy Hewett there, so he should be good. But I'm going Matt Rowell up to the big dog.
See, that would be nice.
I'm going Bontempelli.
That would be nice to be able to do.
Yep. So,
I'm extremely jealous.
and he's number 3 on my, not Scale of Hardness, on my
You're
rolling 22.
Okay. Do you have the other 3 ahead of him?
Well, yes, I do. I've already got Brayshaw. I've already got Laird.
Right.
So there you go.
Good call.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
Right, let's hit up some questions at AFL Fantasy, also on Instagram, where I'm getting these questions from. Lincoln, I don't know if he's taking it out of here for this one, Calvin. Luke Ryan or Hayden Young?
Oh,
Who are you picking?
are you going Luke Ryan?
Yeah,
Easy.
don't you?
But they're not equal price anymore. And that's the thing. Back not that long ago, they were. So, yeah, you can definitely go Luke Ryan. In fact, dog, at the moment, there is about 60k difference.
Right. Petrarca, yes or no for Noah?
I think we need to stop saying no to it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always like, oh,
He's unique.
too right, he's unique. And he's only 913k.
Yep.
I've written down here, he's gone 115 in his last 3, 109 in his last 5, and 107 for the year.
He's in 12.5% teams.
Like, he has been so good. And that average is just affected by, there's an 85 in there and an 80.
Wesley's got this one. Is Nick Martin a solid option rather than Macrae to save that little bit of cash? He continues to be
doesn't
good.
stop.
But
Dog?
I'm stuck with names.
Yeah, I think
The Bombers' run gets harder.
It gets way harder. That's something I should have mentioned because Essendon have had it so easy in the last few weeks. And look what happened on the weekend. They turn up, they play a decent opponent, they get smacked up, dog.
For Liam, a little bit more cash you need for Duncan, but is it Duncan or Yo?
Okay. They're both as risky as each other.
Yes, they are.
Therefore, you take the savings.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah, so that's where I'm at too. I think I'm Yo.
I think that's what you do. Look,
I do like Duncan.
So do I.
Duncan's probably got then that ceiling as well on top of it.
Yeah, he's got one of the S's. So,
Neither of them got the safety.
no, and that's the thing. Because
only-
they don't have the safety, I think you just need to save your coins.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would you do here for Angus? Hobbs to Mitchell or Lloyd to Doherty? I think it's Lloyd to Doherty for me.
I think
hold
it's-
Hobbs.
Lloyd hasn't been doing what he was doing. He was a buy play. People would be very frustrated with what he was been doing. So, yeah, you can definitely Yeah, I'd be doing that.
Jarrah, Wardlaw and Sheasel to Cameron and Yo. Tick. I would be holding Sheasel, though, if I could.
Would you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Sheasel is better than Yo. Sheasel is better than Yo. But you're getting the cash by going
You're getting
down
100K.
Yo to get Wardlaw to Cameron.
You're getting 100K. Sheasel hasn't hit a ton, dog, in his last 4.
Yeah. He's in the mix, though, for the Rollin 22.
Yeah.
Defender.
Yours lacks a lot of criteria.
Is Jack Steele a steal at 790? Yes, I think you can go there.
Yes, you definitely can go there.
Yep.
What did they say the price is?
790. It's cheap.
Mate, there's no reason why we can't. I'm just looking at his game from the weekend. So he had 104, 12 tackles in that, and the problem is 21 touches.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest problem. 68% game time.
Yeah.
What's-
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well, I know, but what's going on?
Yeah, he's clearly being managed in some form.
I know. There's something going on there.
Well, the knee is there.
So
After saying that it wasn't there, they did say a few days later that there was.
I'm saying it's a steal, but I'm saying you can't do it. I don't think you can do it.
Joel wants to know, are we all aboard the Impey train?
I'm not.
No.
But
we're wrong. But Hawthorn have got a good...
they do have a great run coming up. He was good again, 108.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens when the dog comes back barking, though.
Yeah, but he was scoring all right with
He
the dog,
was.
wasn't he?
So, yeah.
Hayden's got Treloar or Crouch. It's Crouch for me. That body
Yep.
of Treloar is an issue.
Oh, and Brad will go 110, 115 from here on. No worries.
Best downgrade for Atkins. So we don't have many. That's the issue. If you could flick him in the midfield, I think Elijah Hewett is the downgrade option of the week.
Yep.
The Eagles have to play him.
Yeah.
So
I just think if you've got a guy like Atkins on field, you just need to find that money to get him to Yo.
yeah, Mark's got this one. Is Mills really an option? So I guess our answer for that is, I think yes.
Yes, you can.
I think you can wait. Or actually, preferably it would be to wait.
Can you guarantee me, dog, that he won't be in the vest again this week?
No, I can't guarantee you. However, I can say that it's probably unlikely.
I think it's unlikely.
It's very unlikely.
I want to see one full game from him. Even if he scores a 90 in that, I'm on.
Okay. Jason O'Grady. G'day, Jace.
Hey, Jace.
Along with Rowell Marshall, I have Briggs and Gone. Whoa. So I got 3 big dogs. So one's got to go.
Okay.
Who has to go out of Gone and Briggs? I think it's Gone.
I think it's gone as well.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm saying that.
Yep.
Just there's too much inconsistency with those guys.
Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get. How did he go on the weekend, old Max? See, 84?
Yeah. No, it's easily gone.
Yeah. Gone.
Dino's dream team. Hey, how important are our benches this time of year? Because if I trade in Callum Mills or Yo, I have no rookies on field, but only Sheldrick, Chesser, Marek, and a downgrade option playing. Or should it be more of a priority to trade out Young, and if so, is Doc an option? Okay, so if you're getting Mills or Yo, it's coming from one of those rookies. It's probably come from one that's a half-decent one. It might be a Johnson. It might be whoever that is. Okay. I feel like you do need... It'd be nice to have one in each position playing.
Yeah, and
For an emergency. But how many times have we needed an emergency this year?
I don't think you've ever
I
needed
know
one.
I'm probably
The
flirting with the fantasy gods saying that. But
the rolling
haven't been
lockout enables us not to need it because you can edit your trade. You
Yeah.
can do all these other things. Okay, I'll admit, I might have gone early in round 5 where I told people to let their benches rot. Right?
Definitely.
May have gone a little bit early, but I'm not too concerned about my bet. Once our teams are, and I'll say complete,
Yep.
the way Dr. Evil says, Death Star, right?
Right.
When they're complete, then we don't really need a bench as such.
No.
Well, we want a bench, but it's not as important as it was if it was in round 5 when I told everyone to let their benches rot.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Right. Tyson wants to know, who's your best option out of Anderson, Tim Kelly, and Walsh?
Jeez. Okay, Anderson was better.
He saved himself late,
He
though.
was
That
better.
was looking like a bad score against an easy matchup.
I'm going to cross off Tim Kelly.
Yeah.
Mate, they just can't get the ball.
Yeah, but he's still got it. Still got a ton.
Yeah, that was
He's
pretty
been good.
impressive. He has been good.
Jeez. It's a tough call because I couldn't back myself into getting Walsh.
No. Anderson didn't lay a tackle. 0. I think I'm Anderson.
Yep.
Then I'm Kelly. Then I'm Walsh. But Walsh is a target, just not yet.
So Walsh is the only one you talked about as in the mix of your rolling 22.
Yeah, but we haven't, because I think he's going to come right. Yeah. Like, it's Sam Walsh. I know I sound like Roy here talking about Sam Walsh, but it's Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
Like, when he came back from his injury early in the year, he just went bang, bang, bang. Something's happened.
Yep.
He's not scoring like he was. He needs to be on our radar at some point. It's just not this week.
What about Patrick Cripps for Nick here as a mid-price option?
Has he done much?
Well, he was all right last game, wasn't he?
So, what is he? 679K.
Yep. So he had a 110 last week.
And what do you have before that, dog?
Yeah, 45 from 84%. Tom
45.
68.
That's a no.
Whoa.
Here you go. This will answer your question.
679 though.
All right.
You're just going Mills instead of him though. That's the simple answer, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's gone over 75 twice in his last 7 games.
That's average.
Wow. Sheldrick's beaten that. My boy, Rick. Yeah.
Finn Callahan is too.
Oh, Finn Cal. See, that's a sideways trade. Like,
no, I'll let you have that one. That's a right trade to make.
I had a tear when I did that one.
Yeah.
That was tough.
He was your boy.
Yeah.
Can we get rid of Lloyd for Harrison? Yes.
Yeah, he can go. He can go.
You've got to be going up though, don't you? Like those sorts of moves.
You do. And see, I'm just looking at his last 3 scores here. And this is why people didn't really. So he's gone 73, 87, 77.
Yeah.
And that's people got him after his bye because before his bye, he had 4 scores over 95.
There's a lot of guys like that. Actually, we did get a question during the week going, what players, that because of the buys, didn't saw the light of day in your team that wouldn't normally?
Yep.
There was a lot.
Rowell.
I'm
okay with Young because...
Ratkins. I would never have picked him. Not even...
Fiorini.
No. Exactly.
He was good. Where was that?
I know. Back in the middle again.
Man, he's so inconsistent. Well, his role is anyway.
Yeah. Yo or Himmelberg. So...
Okay. I like
Tell
this.
us.
This is a great question.
Tell us, Cal. Eli wants to know that one.
The Berg needs to be considered. He seriously needs to be considered. He's 570K. After round 11, he's gone 91, 81, 84 as a defender. He is so cheap. You'll save yourself $80,000 from Yo.
Yeah.
80,000.
Can you...
Because this was a move I was looking at. I was looking at Hayden Young down to Berg to pocket myself what nearly would be, it's about 180K or something. He's so cheap. So and this is a great play with an Atkins. If you've got a Atkins back there, then you can easily switch that for the Berg.
Yeah.
Because 1, he's a better player. 2, he's actually in the team. And he's got a break even of 47. So he's only going up. And the role should stay.
Yeah.
I will tick off a Berg trade
role's
this
staying.
week. I will tick off the Berg this week. I don't want it to be my word of the week.
You want him to get 10 marks though, don't you?
But yeah, even if it's 8 or odd, so he's going to be an 85.
Zach on Instagram. Who should go first, Stocker or Gone? P.S. I'm against you this week, Warnie. Good luck.
Stocker or Gone? Now, Stocker's one of your boys.
Stocker, I think he was all right last week from memory.
He was.
And he's got the Eagles matchup this week.
So he was an 87. Out of those two, and I hate to say it, I think Gone can go first.
And Gone probably gets you to a better player.
Yep. So Stocker's 630.
So if Gone is R1 or R2, then get to Tim English or whatever.
Yep.
Like you're going to.
You could even go down to a Darcy Cameron.
Yeah, or even a Briggsy.
Yep. But there's about 100K difference there between Gone and Stocker.
Yeah.
So Gone can go. Give Stocker his matchup this week against the Eagles.
Luke on Twitter's got, how come CBA sometimes total more than the goals kicked in the game? For example, Freo v Essendon had 23 goals kicked, but Sarong had 24 CBAs. Do you know, Cal? I know the answer.
You tell me.
Can you work it out? When will you have a centre bounce?
Oh, start of the game.
Start of each quarter. So there will be 4 more
There you go.
than the goals. However, sometimes a goal is kicked after a siren, therefore there isn't a centre bounce after that.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. I can't believe I worked that out.
I can't believe it either.
Bloody detective.
Trying to stitch you up to make it. Right. Cameron or Keays? Where's that at now? Okay, so last
Good one.
week it was Cameron.
Good one,
for
yep.
me. This week it still is Cameron. However, I'm getting more excited about Keays, and he could still come in for me. He was a midfielder. And
He was
that
a
is
mid.
it. Even if he had a little bit of a role there on Dacos, he's a mid.
I'll give you a hot tip. He's not a very good tagger. Dacos gave him a bath. Laird had the most CBAs for them.
Yep.
Equal second, Keays and Jordan Dawson.
Yeah.
78%.
So I've got now, after that, no doubt on that role.
Agree.
So scored a 90, and you get there. That's the other thing I was looking at. You know, this is the simple stuff that you look at when lockout lifts and you're laying in bed trying to work out how you fix your rabble of a team on a Sunday night.
Yep.
But, you know, you go, oh, Cameron scored more than Keays. Keays scoring a 90 against a
Collingwood.
tough Collingwood.
Yep.
Is probably all right.
Agree. Cameron looked very good. They both look great, and they're basically the same price. Mm-hmm. Who would I go out of both of them? I've still got Cameron in front.
Yep.
Okay, but Keays is definitely a great pickup this week. 717k.
Yeah,
Can
right.
definitely do it.
The Carlton Blues, just trying to figure out which mid-pricer needs to go first. Wanganeen Miller, Keays, Impey, or Yo. They're all guys you probably keep riding.
Trading in, surely is the question.
Which
Not getting
needs
them
to
out.
go first?
Maybe he needs to go first.
To go to?
Right, out of those 3, you're not getting rid of any of them.
Keays is the best of them,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. I'd have Keays, Yo, Impey, and I'm still...
Cow, there's people in better positions than us, and they're probably going, oh, these are my worst players on field.
But they all would have near turned up last week. I know they're no Finn Callahan, but jeez.
Right, Keays is my first one to pick in.
Yep.
My first one to go out, it's probably Yo.
Yeah. Yep.
Wanganeen Miller, I like the way he just gets the pill.
Oh, and
obviously got a good matchup this
He
week
can,
again.
he can look like he's going to stink.
Yeah.
And then just all of a sudden you're like, what? You're up to 30 in the quarter already?
Hawks have got that good matchup with, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Eamon, rank the rookies. Humphrey, Windhager, Johnson, Lohman, Harrison, Sheldrick, any others that I've missed, who will average the most to go on ground for the next 3 weeks. Okay, let's sort of look at that then. I've got Johnson ahead of Humphrey and Windhager. Windhager's probably second. I'm hoping he bounces back.
Well, he's had a
that
couple
he
of
stays with the
80s.
side.
Yep.
Ross was pretty negative about him in the presser.
Was he?
But I see that as a rocket. I don't think he'd go into a presser.
I love it, yeah.
I don't think he'd go into a presser almost bagging out a player too much and drop them.
So this is Ross 101. Yeah, it's exactly right.
So
A verbal rocket.
Johnson, Windhager,
Yeah.
Sheldrick has to be there.
Oh, the Rick's got to be there.
Sheldrick ahead of Windhager.
Yep.
I don't know. That Geelong matchup worries me this week.
That he had 111 last week
Yes,
and he kicked
again.
1 goal 3.
Yeah, against West Coast.
Yeah, I know. But before that,
That was worse than one of those Neefle games that we looked at stats from.
so the week before that though, he went 82 and 79, and he did that in just over half a game, which is once again, is that a good or a bad thing?
Yeah.
I just think he can easily be, if he's getting decent clock, he can be a 70 for us maybe.
Yep. Jake has got this one. Hey, Ledgers, long-time listener. Thanks, mate. Is it a legitimate tactic to target players coming up against West Coast? For example, should we be looking at Steele this week? 12 tackles makes me think his body can't be too bad.
21 touches, 68% time on ground tells me there's something still not quite right.
Yeah, but if he's tackling.
Yeah, but I don't know. Why is he only playing 68% game time?
If he has 68% game time against the Eagles this week, he'll have 140.
No, I don't know if you'll get 140. But I just think there's better guys around it. I would trust a Keays more than what I would a Jack Steele at the moment. You're right. He does have a great matchup this week. But I'm just concerned that he's playing 68% game time.
Yeah. Rob's got this good one here. Post-buy round trading. How many players do you have left to upgrade that are still on your field? And how many active cash cows do you have? So I guess that's the thing. We've probably got 3 or 4 good active cash cows on the bench, maybe.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. And that's, yeah.
There's always going to be players that you can move. Like I've got quite a few. So if I was looking at my team, my back line, I would, in my perfect world, I don't want Macrae there, Elliott Yeo there.
Look, I don't think we're ever going to be happy.
No.
We're never going to look at it and go, you know what? Nailed that. Pretty happy with how that looks.
Oh, if you're sitting in the top couple of thousand, you probably are.
But even those guys, I reckon, are looking at it going,
oh, yeah.
He's the next one that goes. He's the next one that
You can
goes.
start being strategic and looking at the scale of hardness.
Of course you
looking
can.
at what's coming up.
Of course you can look at the scale of hardness. Why you wouldn't? I know of people that have got the scale of hardness stuck on the back of the toilet door.
Do you?
You know, back when you would have been a little tacker, you would have the times tables on there.
You've got the scale of hardness.
I've got the scale of hardness. I know of other people.
Well, you just start memorising the rest of the season fixture.
Yeah.
That could be your next little goal. All right, that's us, Cal.
Yeah, well,
Thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll be back on Thursday night for the AFL Fantasy Live show, which is big this week because we'll be heading towards another Thursday night game, and that is the Brisbane Lions and Richmond game from the Gabba. 7:20 start for that one.
7:20, okay.
So be switched on, ready to go. The best pre-game is listening and watching AFL Fantasy Live.
Too right it is.
AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app.
What needs to be done for that game? I'll tell you now.
Right, a couple of things.
There will be a vice-captain in that game.
Oh, Tim Taranto.
Well, yes, that's the
So
one.
Tim Taranto will go another week without being our captain.
Yeah. So, look, don't get me wrong, I haven't done the research yet, dog. But it's shaping up.
Do you know the, what's it called? The projections
Yep.
has Taranto at 104 and Dunkley at 111.
Yeah, right. Lucky I don't use those as a criteria. Because we still have, Taranto is still going to
Taranto will be the most obvious VC option
Yep.
that we'll probably see this year until they play the next Thursday night
And the
game.
thing is, we might not need another one after it, but if we do need one after it, we could even be looking into the final game, the 4:40 Sunday game, when we do have your
Brad.
Crouch, your Sinclairs.
How would you feel about going Brad Crouch?
Mate, I would love it.
He's your boy.
He's my boy. So I used to like Matt, but disown him. And Brad's my boy now.
He's dominating your Sandful fantasy team, mate.
He sure is.
Right.
There we go.
Yep, 9 weeks to go. Thanks heaps for tuning in, and we'll see you throughout the week, but definitely on Thursday night for AFL Fantasy Live. Well done, by expert.
Cheers, mate.
You're good at what you do.